Hello and welcome everyone here for round number 4 of the OSRL Season 5. Today we're here at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, and I can already tell you this is going to be really exciting when we have some home Grand Prix in today's race. Of course, we have some guys having the home Grand Prix in, just to name a few guys, we have Steven, we have Koen. Actually, I think that's the only two guys that are having the... Actually, yeah, the Nacho Man, the third guy to have his home Grand Prix today. But we also have some debutants today. Some guys that are having the first race of the season. I think, actually, Fair and Fink. Oh, actually, the McLaren and the Haas are getting close together. I think it is the season debut for Whizbang. Also, Chizzy had his second race of the season today, and the Haas and the McLaren are doing some weird things. I don't know what they are doing, but like they're moving across on each other, not leaving room on the quali lap. I'm not quite sure what they tried to do there, but really didn't make a lot of sense what they were doing. But to have the first lap of the day, we will hop on board with Koen, who is on the intermediates. Okay, we will hop on some guy that's doing a competitive lap. To do that, I think the next guy to approach the line would be Kyle. So we will just stay with Kyle. Yeah, it's not half the lobby, Nacho Man. Underboss, sorry. It's 3 guys out of 16, it's not half the lobby. But we have Kyle now coming through turn number, I think it's 4 actually. No, it's 3. But struggling on traction, nearly losing the car. And Joe Fain comes in with a 1:95.99. That's the first time set by anyone today, as Ferrylander goes quickest on the medium tires with a 1:94.62. Riza 6 seconds down as Whisping. Both Haas down by 5 or 6 seconds to the guys in front. Also Farron with a 10.9. Not the greatest of starts. Koen with a 22, but who would have expected anything else? Kyle now, he had that slight mistake here, but he will probably go, he will go for another lap. Prain in the second Mercedes. He will go for it all today. I don't think he will try to start from the back. I think he will try to get his first win in a long time. I'm not quite sure if he ever won a race after the last race, after his win in Japan in season number 2. Was still in the F1 2019 game. That was his first league racing win, I think. So he really wants to repeat that, of course, but he hasn't had that luck in a lot of races in other leagues too. So I expect him to come out with a strong performance today and really show what he can do. Of course, he is a really quick driver. Now coming towards the line, he will come over the line and will take pole for now with the 1:93.39. It's only a 10th quicker than Ferrylander on the mediums, though. That shows how quick Ferrylander is. Steven coming across the line with a 1:89.98. Steven wants to have a word with Prain. Of course, Steven hasn't had a win here also for some time. I actually think he has never had one win in OSRL, if I'm not wrong. He should never, I don't think he ever won a race here. I know he was able to win one in KRL, but I don't think he was ever on the top step of the podium in OSRL. But I know him, and he really wants to get that win. And I mean, him and Prain, they have some history this season already in Bahrain. Short, they crashed into each other. Lap 51 going into turn number 4, and then the incident happened. Prain out of the race, fighting for P4. Steven was able to get home in P3 in a podium spot. Stewards decided not to give a penalty as they deemed it as a racing incident. which I personally, when I looked at it, I would have probably given it a racing incident too. Didn't look really bad to me as Ryan invalidates his lap. Chizzy now on the lap. Chizzy last week joined in late, so he wasn't really able to put in a qualifying lap. There really was able to put him into a good spot, but maybe today he's going pretty slow right now. Probably messed up his lap. He's on a 5-minute lap for some reason. Ryan now starting another lap. Now Nachoman on his home Grand Prix, trying to show something. Of course, Racing Point last week in P3 and 4 in qualifying, a really surprising result for the Racing Point team. Also, I don't think anyone would have expected them to be that far up, and in the race, it showed off that the competitiveness sometimes can go away at some point, and they finished in P10 and 11 only. So from good points in qualifying down to P10 and 11. Not the greatest thing, but I think the Nachoman definitely wants to come back today and show on his home track what he can do. Coming over the line with a 10.5, it puts him into P6. Not quite close enough to the places where he would want to be, I guess. Ferry Landon now on a lap. He is trying to get Simon off that first spot. He is currently beating his time by, I think, about 1 or 2 tenths. That would put him up into P1 now. Of course, the traction is a thing. Now, he did his first lap on the mediums, now coming across the line on the softs. It will be a 188. 888. A lot of 8s in that number. But he goes quickest for now with 10 minutes left in the session, by a little bit more than a tenth in front of the Red Bull driver and Stuyven. But I mean, Joe Fain now going up to P3 with a 191. Don't think Prain would be. I don't think Prain is really happy with that result as of right now. Chizzy coming across the line, puts himself into P5 with a 196. Carl following right behind him with a 199, but he's on 4 leveled mediums. So I'd expect him to come in this lap. Unless he wants to do something really crazy, what I've never seen in my life before. Scuderia is up on and Underboss on lap right now. Underboss, of course, the second Racing Point, actually right in front of the other Red Bull driver and Scuderia Sepp. And looking at it, Scuderia Sepp, of course, dominant with Stuyven in the Red Bull. They're leading the Constructors' Championship by a good amount of points. Trying to find out how many of them actually. They're up by 63 points ahead of McLaren. Of course, had the win. Actually had Ryan and Fernando score good points so far this season. Underboss here taking a little bit off the toe of the Ferrari of Farron, who I think is making his second race of the season. Yeah, he had some points scored in the first race of the year in Australia. Underboss now coming across the line though. Of course, Underboss currently sitting in P8 here in the race, and he's sitting in P number 15 with the points scored in the driver's standings. So not too great for him, but he might want to change that today. If he can, that would be great for him. Marty currently on a lap on the mediums, so he wants to go for a different strategy, but he stopped doing his lap already, only through the first few corners, and he already stopped. The Prain on his outlap now. Stuyven coming towards the line, but he's driving into the pits. Wouldn't have improved anyways. So he just thought, I'll abandon the lap and I won't keep going. So he can save the tires a little bit. Guys on laps right now, we have Ryan, the McLaren driver, currently sitting in P6 in the standings, 1 point ahead of Ferry Lando and only 2 points behind both Kuhn and Joe Fain. So he could jump up in the standings. But also right now we have Scuderia Sepp sitting in P1 in the standings, down in P16. Vaki sitting in P13 in second, only 13 points behind the Red Bull driver, and Stuyven, the second Red Bull driver, in P3. So that could be really interesting. Ryan now coming over the line though. 188.49. The McLaren team last week would have won too in China in qualifying. Currently sitting on the same places. So that's a good thing for them. They're looking really good, really strong this year. If they want to make a challenge, if they want to make a run against Red Bull, they have to start doing it. But I mean, there's still 10 races left in the season. So maybe the McLaren team can actually pull something out of the bag and try something. As Prain's improving by a little bit, by about a 10th currently in the first sector. Probably might actually get near Joe Fane, but if he has a great second, first sector, that could change and maybe turn into even more positions. By about 2/10 right now, that would put him into P4. Actually, would not put him into P4 as of now, but he would come close to it. Now coming into the final part of the circuit, into the bank corner. Now coming over the line, it will be a 1:8.973. Improves up to P3, down by a 10th to P2 and P1 as Fergie Lando improves to 1:8.7. Shootout by the McLarens for P1 once again. Prain improving to 1:8.9, improving up and beating Joe Fane and Stuyven with a good last sector. But Fergie Lando as Chizzy crashes out of the session, lost it on the traction, coming out of turn number 10. Marty also retires as he dropped it coming out of turn 3. And Prain just standing on the track. He dropped it coming out of turn 7. Actually coming out of turn 8 on the entry curb. Kuhn retired from the session, but he wanted to start from there. Vaki and Scuderia probably also staying at the back of the grid. But Joe Fane also improved, but only by about 50 thousandths of a second. Not enough to improve him to any other position. But that will probably make Prain happy that he didn't lose his position. Also, Stuyven can be happy about it. But I mean, Prain and Stuyven would definitely want someone to separate them on the grid. I could imagine that. I mean, I don't think they will be fighting against each other. Reza's on a lap, not improving. Simon not on a lap. Nacho Man is not on a lap as well. He improved up to P8. Underboss currently on a lap, improving by 2/10. Scuderia Sap nearly getting into his way, but got out of it quickly enough. But Underboss now, he is on a quite quick lap. He could improve up to P8, maybe even to P7 if it's a good lap. Reza improved up to 194. Underboss only improving by 10, it cost him about 2/10. That Scuderia Step was a little bit in his way there. Now coming towards the bank corner, the final one off the track in turn number 14. What will his lap time be? Will he improve by enough to beat someone, or will he stay in P10? Looks like it is enough to get up to P8, improving by a 10th over his teammate Danacho Man. So pretty good result as of now for the Racing Points, standing in P8 and 9. They want to continue their hot streak of good qualifyings. That's what they want to do. And now Ryan probably with his last attempt at a lap. Scuderia Step also a little bit in his way now, but this time he got out the way like he should. Good look by Scuderia Step. Current championship leader, but now Ryan really coming over the grass. They're really taking every single part of the track and losing the car on traction. Didn't keep it on the track. Spinning out into the wall. Lost some parts of his front wing, I think. Don't actually know if he did, but yeah, he did lose parts of his front wing, and that will probably end his challenge. His fight for P1 should be over, and that will help Fergie Lando, because he has looked like the quickest driver in qualifying so far. Prain and Stuyven, though, they are the ones that have the chance to make a run for P1 now. And actually P2, of course, they can take away Ryan's place. They are the first guys to leave the pits. Also Kyle now. Actually, Kyle is the first guy to leave the pits. Farron improved by 3 tenths. Actually, yeah, he's on another lap now. He just started it, so he could get up to P11. I don't see him getting up to P10, but maybe with a great lap he could do that. In the last 3 places of the grid are Kuhn, Vaki, and Scuderia Step, unless someone gets disqualified. Ryan coming back into the pits. His qualifying will be done, and he won't get another lap in. Kyle currently on a lap. He's coming towards the line. What will his lap time be? How much will he improve by? It doesn't look like a really quick lap. He improves though to 195. He ran out of DRS early, so his straight line speed at the end wasn't that great, but improves to 195. As Chizzy also improved to 196, so Arnabus and Nanachman sitting in P9 and 10. Farron invalidated, so they won't lose places to them. So the top 10 should be set at the back, but what will happen in between? That's the only question I can really ask right now. Fairlando also going for a lap. But guy number 1 to start his lap for P1 in qualifying is going to be Stibe, and now Scuderia Sepp retiring. As expected. This is now going to be the thing. Andrew was retiring, so the Nutchman also not going for a lap. Farron also not being able to go for a lap. That means everyone outside of the top 10 is done. The Nutchman also. Actually, I think Farron is actually going for another lap. Yeah, he is, but probably won't do anything. But Stuyben currently improving in his first sector. That is going to be crucial for Stuyben to get the first 2 sectors done, and the final one, he can't really do a lot of things wrong. Pretty much. I mean, he can actually do after this. He's improving by 1.5 tenths. As Prain retired, he crashed out at the same point that Shizzy crashed out. So Prain won't improve, and Stuyben now get the perfect chance to get past both Ryan and Prain. Coming through the bank corner, for coming the final 2 corners, approaching the line. It pretty much means that Ferrylando is close to keeping pole position unless Stuyben can get more out of his car. Going first with a 186, but still, Ferrylando is still approaching. Farron won't he actually is improving by 2 tenths. It will put him into P12. He won't improve, but Ferrylando, he's not improving, so Stuyben might get the pole here in his home Grand Prix. Now Ferrylando coming through the final corner. Will he improve? Joe Fain gets past Prain with a 189, and Ferrylando coming over the line. Pole position for Stuyben on his home soil. The Red Bull driver gets the pole position here in Zandvoort. What an amazing lap by Stuyben. Under pressure. Gets past Prain. Gets past Ryan. Gets past Ferrylando. And gets pole position in Zandvoort. And I think the guys that are going to be so mad at themselves right now, Ryan and Prain, if they would have improved, they could have probably been up there with Stuyben. But what a great lap by the Red Bull driver. Currently sitting in P3 in the driver standings, down by 20 points to his teammates Scuderia Sepp. So if he can show that pace in the race, it might be Stuyben's time to show everyone how quick he is. As you can see, the final classifications in qualifying now. Stuyben in P1, Ferrylando in P2, Ryan in P3, Joe Fain in P4. A second row filled by UK guys. Prain in P5, Reza in P6, Carl in P7, Chiz in P8, Underbus in P9, the second Dutchie on the grid, the second Polish guy on the grid. Then Dutchman in P10, Martin P11, Fern in P12, Whizbang, Kuhn, Vaki, and Scuderia Sepp at the back of the grid. Now we're waiting for the guys to get onto the grid. They want to show us, hopefully they will show us a good result here. The good race would be the better term to say. But I mean, last week we had an interesting race in China, of course, Lemon crashing out on the final lap. But we have the chance to look at the tires now. You can see, of course, the top 10 are all going to start on the soft tires. As you could have maybe guessed, we have different tire choices outside of the top 10. We have Marty starting on the hards. We have Farron starting on the mediums. Whizbang on the softs. Kuhn on mediums. Vaki on hards. Scurrius up on mediums. And Chizzy got disqualified. Starting down to P16. Starting on the softs as well. Interesting things to see. You can see Chizzy took low fuel. I want to see which guys took low fuel with them. Looks like Chizzy is the only guy who really took low fuel with him to start the race. So he needs to save some fuel over the course of the race. But I mean, there's a lot of time left here. 36 laps to go, so there's probably some time to do it. But I mean, one thing that you really have to look out for in this race is going to be ERS management, because you don't have a lot of hard braking zones to recover a lot of ERS. So if you go for a push on the main straight, you're going to lose a lot of ERS. And I mean, you can recover like up to 60% in the pits, I think, but it is not enough really to do a lot with it. But let's see how the guys are going to manage it. And the guys are now coming back to the grid spots, but we have the top 5, actually the top 6 in the spots already. We see McLaren with another good qualifying though in P number 2 and 3, with Ferry Lando beating Ryan. We have the last guy coming back to the grid spots now. And that means we can see the predicted pit stop strategy here. Soft pitting in lap 12 and double stop pitting in lap 12 and 24, I think. But now we'll probably have the lights coming on now in a second. The lights are coming on. Now 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it is lights out and away we go. Stuyven gets a pretty good start, but Ferrylando also has a decent one. Looks like Ferrylando actually gets ahead of Stuyven now coming into turn 1 already. Ferrylando takes the lead. Joe Frey nearly touching Ryan at the back. Ferrylando takes the lead of Stuyven. At the back, everyone looks to actually have survived the start. And now you can see the predicted pit stop strategies again, but everyone has survived. There's a spin. Reza has spun around. The Haas driver down to P16. We have Whispang also down to P15. The Haas drivers with an awful and terrible start. As now the timing pages are glitched a little bit. Ryan trying to attack Stuyven up to P3 now. Right at his back. Right at the rear of the Red Bull. But what a start from Ferrylando. Up to P1. Also Kuhn already up to P10 with not a great start by Kuhn. He's master of the starts at the back of the grid, and now we have Underboss going down the inside of Nacho Man. The racing points touching, surviving, not getting damaged. But that was a close call. They're still going side by side, going into the final corner. Underboss going around the outside of his teammate. Will he get the move done? They're still side by side, going onto the main straight. Little bit of a touch there. Nacho Man going over the grass. What will they do after them? There's something going on too. Joe Fane goes down to P5. He's still on P5, but Nachoman. Kuhn now trying to overtake Underboss, who lost out on Nachoman after that little tap here. Kuhn getting past Underboss, a slight tap there, but gets past him. Chizzy touching Farron. Actually, yeah, touching Vaki, not Farron. Farron running wide though, dropping down to P15. And the Haas and the Ferrari going side by side. Stuyven now dropping down. Actually, no, it's not. It's a glitch again. But Whispang and Farron fighting for that 14th position as Whispang runs a little bit wider there. Scurrius getting past Chizzy here. I can see a lot of action. Chizzy nearly hitting Scuderia Sepp Farron, also nearly hitting Chizzy. Hard on the brakes there. Making sure not to hit them. And a little bit, the fights have calmed down a little bit. Riza a little bit, getting quite close again. I mean, he gained a second due to the fights going on there. The Natchaman already dropped down by 2 seconds to Carl, and Kuhn now trying to get up to P8, 7 already. Down the inside in turn 1. Late braking. A little bit of a touch, and Kuhn kept it on the track, nearly spinning it around after the touch. But he has to keep it behind him as Chizzy has spun in turn 1. Actually, he went into the pits and Wisping has spun in turn 1. Chizzy had damage from some incident, I think. After touching Vaki, he got some wing damage. And Wisping spun in turn 1. The second Haas driver to spin out in turn 1. Actually, not in turn 1. The second Haas driver to spin at some point. Somewhere. As Scuderia Sepp also gets past Marty now, up to P11, overtaking him in turn 9. Not a corner where you see a lot of overtaking moves being made, but good move by him. And now we have the guys approaching the main straight for the first time, where they can open up DRS now. Ryan is as close as ever to Stuyben, opening up the DRS, flying towards them, but not quite close enough to make a move, and Underboss retired. And Kuhn, Vaki, and Underboss all out of the race. What happened here? All standing here, coming out the bank corner, the final one. Kuhn standing towards the top left of the wall. There's Vaki, Underboss standing on the pit entry, pretty much. 3 guys crashing out here. And I missed it because I was watching the battle between Stuyben and Ryan. As the virtual safety car's out, actually not the full one. Even though this should have been a full one. Like, I mean... This should have been a full one, probably. I mean, by the looks of it, there should have been one. But, one Dachi out of the race now. Not great for Kuhn in his home race. As Stuyben and Ryan fighting, Ryan now alongside him. And Ryan around the outside now into turn 3. Will he get the move done? He's trying to keep it there. But it's not quite. Actually, he's still there. And Ryan actually got the move done on Stuyben in the end. After the move into turn, trying to get the move done in turn 1, they were side by side battling through 4 corners. And Ryan came out on top. Joe Fain still following closely behind him. We have the big battle here from P2 to P6 downwards. Scuderia Sepp now trying to go around the outside of Natchaman into turn 1. Gets the move done, and now he needs to close the gap on Carl, Prain, Joe Fain, Stuyben, and Ryan to get closer to Ferry Lando. Kyle dropping back a little bit. He wants to keep it in DRS, of course, but not quite able to. Also hard on the traction coming out of turn number 10. Actually 11, my bad. See, it is yeah, it's turn number 11. And he has dropped out of DRS, so not a good thing for him. Risa now trying to attack Farron. Didn't quite get a move done on him. Not quite the attack he wanted to have, but stayed back. Now Chizzy trying to do anything to get closer after his first pit stop. And the battles have been falling apart a bit. Risa is the closest guy on track to Farron. Prain and Joe Fain both also not really far gone. But not quite close enough to make any kind of moves here, or try to attack them in front, because it's just not where they should be to make a move here. They need to be like 3 to 4 times away from the guy in front to be able to make some sort of attack. But like if they're not, it's gonna be really hard on this track, as the overtaking opportunities are just not. They're just not here, but Scaria Sepp is closing in on Carl now. But still 1.7 seconds away from Prain. It's not what he wants to do if he wants to get closer and win the race even maybe. Still, he's gonna keep the championship lead by a good amount of points. Pretty much no matter what happens. Baki is out of the race, and he is the guy that would need to score good points, and he would need to score 40 more points than Scaria Sepp, and of course he is not in the race anymore. So that would be the. It's not what he can do, of course, after he's out. So he has to see what he will do now. Scaria just needs to finish it, and Chizzy has spun another time coming out of turn 3 into turn 4. Hitting, actually did he get damage from it? That's the question here. Don't think he did, by the looks of it. Yeah, he did get damage actually to his right front end plate, and he did get heavy damage there. Lost his whole right part of the front wing. As Joe Fain now goes in the pit lane and gets the 5-second speeding penalty. Not great for him. Now needs to either serve it at some point, or he will need to drive out 5 seconds to keep it in the spot. And the guy that will probably be happy now is Prain, but Prain lost the car coming out of he didn't lose the car, but he ran wide coming out of turn 8. He has struggled there. He spun there in qualifying, and now he has dropped it there. He was lucky to not get damaged because he was in the wall for a short moment. Scuderia Sepp now getting past Kyle on the inside of turn 11. And is right behind Prain, who has now lost 5 seconds to Stuyven. What a turn of events here. Prain could have had the luck of his life that Joe Fane got the 5-second penalty, but now he threw it away himself. Now he needs to fight for it again to get close enough to get that place. And now he has got Scuderia Sepp, the championship leader, right at the back, right in his rear. Kyle now pitting. Now Sepp is really close enough as Lando pits early, not trying to get undercut. Scuderia Sepp going around the outside of Prain. On the straight, the air is open. Up to P4 on the mediums. Good move by him to get up into P3. As of now, of course, with the pit stop it will change. As Kyle's now close to Farron by 3/10. That's the only really close battle on track right now. Hard on traction and trying to get past Farron now, trying to go around the outside in 11. Side by side approaching turn 11. And the hit there! Farron spins, Kyle spins, they collide. Going to turn 11. Damage to both cars. As Ryan into the pits now. Lando getting past him. Marty also might get past him. He will stay behind him though on the pit exit. Actually, Marty might get past Ryan here. Not ideal for Ryan to get stuck behind Marty, but he tries to keep it around the outside in turn 3. Gets the move done and stays in front. Didn't lose too much time there. Quite a lucky thing for him to happen there. With some more battles, Joe Fane came up behind Ryan. Of course, Farron gets another penalty. Joe Fane is actually stuck behind Marty though. So that's really just luck for Ryan that he got past him that quickly. Because Joe Fane's not able to get past him now. And at least Joe Fane. Joe Fane's still just right behind. But when will he be able to make the move? Marty has now lost DRS. That's going to be critical for Marty to be in a good position here. As the Dutchman also gets the 3-second time penalty, the Dutch team in his home Grand Prix. And Jovain gets past Marty now, up to P4. Marty trying a little bit with the touch there. Prain in the pits now. He will come out far behind those guys. Because of the incident, yeah, he lost 5 seconds because of it approximately. And that lost him all his time. And he went for the medium, so he needs to stop again probably. So he needs to drive it out on pace. I don't know if that's the best decision for him to do. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Marty's the only guy in the DRS right now, but Marty will probably drop out because of his tires. Stuyven approaching him quickly. Stuyven with the fastest lap. Stuyven flying again on the hards. Seems like he's pretty confident there. Stuyven now got the DRS from Marty, 7/10 behind, so a move is not far away here. But once he gets past him, Jovain gets a penalty now, a second one. It's actually 8 seconds of penalties now, so Prain will even hate himself more about that. Has Stuyven up 3 times behind him. As he got past, I actually got past Marty. I actually didn't see it. I was looking away for a second because I saw the other incident. Yeah, he got passed into turn 3, out of traction. Marty's struggling on his old tires now. As you can really see, he's trying to go for the 1-stop probably, hitting around lap 24. That probably will be his strategy, that he's trying to pull out, but I mean, he's losing so much time with these tires. I just don't see the advantage of it, as Prain also now approaching in quick steps from behind. I mean, I just don't see the point of it, but maybe he will pull something out at the end if there's something like a safety car or anything. But also, looking at the strategies now, it's looking like Prain could probably pull off the strategy. Yeah, Prain approaching quick steps now. Marty dropping back. As Stuyven is on the DRS of Jovain. Whispering in the DRS of Chizzy, but he's on 13 lap on all softs. Not quite the best thing to see. Frontlander not putting in the fastest lap of the race. Scuderia Sap might think about stopping at some point, but I mean, he will probably stretch it out to go onto the softs at some point. That's what he needs to do. I mean, hards don't make sense, and he can't go onto the mediums again. Simon now in the range to take Joe Fain. That is how close he probably needs to be to make a move. And I can't see him going for the move this lap probably. Close already. Touching him now, touching the inside curb. That could have been a little bit of a struggle there if you go out. But now Lando sending another fastest lap. He gained another second this lap on Sap. Joe Fain moves to the inside, but no way stopping Stuyven with the DRS. Up to before the Red Bull goes. And that is what Stuyven had to do to get really past him. Joe Fain about to lose the DRS to Stuyven as well. And he has got the 8 seconds of penalty, so Prain might actually get the place back. Marty has to stop, so Prain is in a good spot right now to snag that P5 of Joe Fain and get the points from where he started the race. Now we'll have to see what Scuderia Sap will do after his pit stop. Presumably it will be around lap 24 to stretch the tires to 12 laps. I mean, Wisping is on 15 lap old softs, but last time we raced here, I think Kuhn got a puncture at some point in lap 33, I think it was, last time we raced here. And he lost the race because of it. But we are only 15 laps from the end of this race. We passed the halfway mark of the race. But Joe Fain is not trying to give up here. He is still keeping it inside the DRS. As there's a yellow flag, it was Nacho Man, I think, who lost the car. Coming out of turn, I think it was 9. Didn't actually see where it was, but I think it was 9. It was been 10. Probably looked like 9 though, because it was already going again. Probably Lando now close to being in the DRS window of Scuderia Sap, so Sap's plan is coming to an end here in about 1 or 2 laps time probably, and then he will pit. But now the question is, will he get overtaken by Lando on track or not? I mean, Scuderia Sap will have the pace advantage though at the end of the race. But pit stops the pit entry is not that long, but still you lose some time there, and I don't know actually how long a pit stop takes here, but I think he would come out actually right now behind Marty, I would say. I would say he would come out around Marty or Prain right now, so he would drop down to be 7 in the end. 6 or 7. Probably behind Prain, but a victory is not really on sight for him. He would need to gain about 15, about 16, 17 seconds to get past everyone there. I mean, he is probably around 17 seconds behind, but he would still need to overtake everyone, which also isn't easy. I mean, Prain still has got the medium stay, not that bad right now. The hearts of Marty, I mean, Marty has to stop, so there will be one position that he won't need to fight for. Stuyven's still on pretty decent hearts. Ryan on pretty decent hearts. Ferdinando has got the oldest hearts, but the hearts will last till the end, so there's no real problem that's gonna be there for Ferdinando, Ryan, and Stuyven, and Jofane. As Scuderia Sepp now, lap 23, pulling into the pit lane. Just as Ferdinando got the DRS. And now we will have to wait and see where Scuderia Sepp will come out, because this will be crucial to the race. He comes out now, and I think he will come out ahead of... He will come out ahead of Reza. Actually, yeah, he will come out ahead of Marty, who's still going. The one that went into the pits is Whizbang. Actually, Whizbang stayed out. I thought he went into the pits, but he's ghosting, of course. And Scuderia Sepp came out ahead of Marty, which is crucial to him, because now he is down by about 11. He's down by about 15 seconds, and he needs to overtake 3 cars, and then it's full push mode for him to get to Ferdinando. But Ferdinando has shown his pace today. It is really good, so it will not be easy for Scuderia Sepp to get anywhere close there. But I think his goal has to be P2. He's down by 6 seconds to Ryan. But softs now, push now, every mode activated, ERS activated, sets the purple sector in the middle sector. You can see how fast he is. He is flying. He gained 5 tenths in 2 corners alone on Jofane. You can just see the pace advantage that the softs have. As Marty should probably need to pit this lap, because he hasn't pitted yet. As he does pit this lap, as I just talked about it. And he's down to 1.9 seconds. He gained a second in less than in about 2 sectors to Jofane. You can just see how how fast he's flying right now. And you can see how perfect he's taking every corner, pretty much not making any kind of mistakes. He's totally on the limit now. 1.4 seconds. You can see how quick he's approaching. Might even get DRS this lap. 2 attempts to be gained in the last corners here. A little bit of a lockup there, but that will not matter. He will get DRS this time around. And he is only down by 2 seconds to Cyber now. He will get Jofane in the next couple of corners, I would say. Because his pace is so crazy on these softs. I mean, P2 is pretty much, unless he makes a mistake, with a 110.7, it's pretty unimaginable that he will not get any of those places. Farron should probably be ghosting now. Coming out in P12, yeah, he does. But not a problem for Scuderia Sepp. But this is the problem that I talked about. He is now stuck behind Jofane, and he needs to overtake him as soon as possible, because if he wants to have a chance at all the places in front of him, he needs to get past everyone as quick as possible. But now the grip advantage is too good. Approaching turn 9, maybe a dive bomb here. No, he will take the better of it. That is the big problem. You can't really overtake here, unless it's like for the straight, and for this little part here. Hard on the traction, but he has got the pace. The traction is incredible. Up to before he goes, the Red Bull right behind his teammate now. Down by about 3.6 seconds to Ryan. And then there's another 10 seconds to Ferdinando. So it's pretty good. I hardly imagine that he could ever get close to that. But now, maybe some team tactics. Stuyven might help Scuderia Sepp here. Because Red Bull needs the points today. I mean, McLaren is currently gaining around 34, 33, and 27. They're actually gaining about 16 points right now, and every point could matter towards the end of the season with the way McLaren has been performing at the moment. So if they could maybe have Ryan drop down to P3 or even P4, that would be crucial for the Red Bull team, because it would lose them 2 more points, actually 3 more points, and would gain them some. So that could be a really important move here for the Red Bull team to be made towards the final few laps of this race. Which, I mean, we'll have to see what they will try to do. But he is now close to being in the DRS. And there will be 1.8 seconds once he gets past Simon, or about 2 seconds to get to Ryan. In 8 laps. Will he do that? I could very much imagine that. But getting Ferdinando is pretty much not possible anymore. Ferdinando is just too far ahead for that to happen. But never say never. This time Stuyven runs wide through the gravel. Yellow flags, it's Prain who spun again. It's his problem corner. It's the problematic one. Turn 8, around turn 8. He's struggling so much. Marty now coming around the outside and Prain has lost his front wing. I don't believe it. Prain with damage. Will probably drop down behind Nacho Man once he pits. 7 laps to go. Scuderia have now got 1.7 seconds left to gain to Ryan. And Prain has thrown it away. Not really going hard. I think that might be it for him. Going slowly. Whispering retiring in the pit lane in P13. Prain is changing everything. But he will continue the race. Coming out of P10, he will come out in the last point scoring position. Actually, yeah, he will come out ahead of Chizzy. Might actually be able to fight for some, but now Scuderia Seb is pulling Simon a little bit. Coming closer to Ryan. And that's crucial. If Stuyven also could get past Ryan, it would mean that Stuyven has the chance to get past Ryan as well. But Scuderia Seb is flying away from Stuyven, so I don't think there's any chance. Unless Scuderia Seb holds up Ryan to make Stuyven get closer to him. But Scuderia Seb will probably get the move done here. Just as Chizzy is coming closer to Prain. Prain has lost his pace here after the incident, as Prain lets him past. Prain is losing time in P10 as Scuderia Seb is approaching Ryan. Now in the straight, it should be his move to be made. And he gets past on him on the inside of turn 1. Scuderia Seb made a great comeback, starting last place. Involved in some little things. Yellow flags. Farron retired in just a safety car. And Prain might gain some places because he already pitted. And that slowing down cost him some places here. And that question is, who will pit again for softs and who won't? And Prain gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. This guy is not getting... the luck's not getting better for this guy. But you can see everyone is pitting. Everyone is pitting. Looks like we'll have one lap or so behind the safety car. And Prain is out of the session. Sap in P2. Ryan hasn't pitted. Stuyven has pitted. Scuderia Sap and Ryan get a 5-second penalty here for touching under the safety car. Ryan gets another 5-second penalty. Now we have everyone on fresh softs. Ryan and Joe Fain both not on fresh softs, on old hards, so they will probably get eaten alive in the last few laps, but everyone's so far behind. Chizzy is only coming out of turn 5 now, while everyone else, the top guys, the front pack, was already in turn number 11. 14 actually, not 11. There needs to be some catching up, and Ryan and Joe Fain both pit. It will be, I think it's Joe Fain coming out ahead because Ryan had to change his wing. Scuderia Sap and Ryan got a 5-second penalty, but I think that will probably get removed because I didn't see any contact between them. As Joe Fain gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. Now everyone is close. The safety car might come in this lap actually if Chizzy and all those guys becoming close enough. They are close enough pretty much. I mean, there should be the safety car coming in. Yeah, it's coming in this lap. We will have 3 laps of green flag racing in this race. Lando leading the pack. Scuderia Sap on old softs. Followed by his teammate Stuyven, who got lucky here. Will probably finish. The Red Bull team can really make a push here and take the lead back and really advance it. And now the safety car is still there. It's coming in now. It's so close. Lando, Scuderia Sap nearly hitting. When is Lando going? He's going now. Scuderia Sap gets another 5-second penalty with Lando. Lando also gets a 5-second penalty, and Scuderia Sap is ahead. Oh, he got past him. Stuyven nearly spinning the car there. Yellow. The timing pages are glitched. Joe Fain and Marty going side by side. Now Ryan touching and lost his front wing after touching Marty, I think. Spin now for Ryan into the wall. Ryan has lost everything. McLaren losing points, time, everything. Ferry Lando stuck behind Scuderia Seb, now fighting for the win. Ferry Lando has got the new tires on. Yellow flags, there it is. Donatsuman, the Dutchie has spun. Home Grand Prix. But he will probably still get P10 because Prain is a lap down and they're fighting there. Ferry Lando now. It's his time to fight for the win. The penalties for both Ferry Lando and Scuderia Seb, all of the penalties they got will probably get removed. So, I could imagine this being the battle on track that will decide who wins the race. But Ferry Lando has got the fresher tires. GRS of course not activated. And it won't be activated for the rest of the race, I think. So it will be even harder to overtake now. Jovane has lost a second to Stuyben. And Ferry Lando nearly dropped the car in turn 1 on the curb. Stuyben has close to him. Stuyben might take advantage of this and get a Red Bull 1-2 if he can. But he's not quite able to get to him. This is going to be exciting at the end. Because Stuyben could win the race on penalties here. But Ferry Lando is not done yet. He is still behind for Scuderia Seb, but there's no DRS that will be activated in this race anymore. But he is so close right now. The softs of Scuderia Seb are going in right now a little bit. Ferry Lando might have the chance at some point here. Scuderia Seb locking up a little bit. He's under pressure from behind. The pressure, will Scuderia Seb sustain it? Or will he crumble under it? No DRS, as I said. It will only be ERS and a tow. DRS is now enabled, so there will be one DRS straight. Actually, not even a straight. Before turn 11, there will be one opportunity to open up DRS. But will you be able to overtake there? The DRS won't be long enough on the straight to make a move, I think. But maybe it will be enough. Ferry Lando is down by a 10th now for entering turn 6 and 7. It will be so close on track, and then the stewards will have to decide what's going to happen here. Ferry Lando is staying behind for now. Lock up for Seb. Lando on the traction, trying to go around the outside into 10. It's not quite enough yet. Now they're coming down towards turn number 11. DRS open for Lando. Will he try to make the move here? Going around the outside into turn 11. Alongside, running wide into the gravel. Hits him, nearly losing the car. Stuyben gets tangled up with Lando. Lost his front wing. Jovane gets past him. It's looking like Scuderia Seb will win the race on track, and with the penalties get removed, he will win the race anyways. Marty has dropped places, and Scuderia Seb wins the race on track. Ferry Lando wins it off the track, but Stuyben wins it now with penalties being removed. Chizzy in P2, Marty in P3, Riga in P4, Carl in P6, Ferry Lando P7, P6, Jovane in P7, Scuderia Seb in P8, Ryan in P9, Donatsuman in P10, Prain in P11. But what a finish on the final lap. Stuyben could have even won this on track, maybe could have finished P2 on track. But what a race. My voice has really just said goodbye, but what a race. And now, as of now, the final standings here for now, right now. Stuyben winning, Chizzy in P2, Marty in P3. That's a podium for now. I have to say for now, because there are some penalties to be looked at. Riga in P4, Carl in P5, That's the most random P5, the top 5 that you will probably ever see here. Furry Land on P6, Joe Fane in P7, Sepp in P8, Ryan in P9, Danacho Man in P10. Danacho Man getting a point here in the end. So, good luck for him. Prain in P11, Farn Wisbang Kuhn. And Vaki and Underboss all DNFing. Of course, Kuhn, Vaki, Underboss all crashing in lap 3 out of the race. But what a race in Zandvoort today. But now, thank you guys for watching today. What an exciting ending to this race. We will be back next week on the 2nd. Actually, I don't know if we will be back to stream it because it's my birthday next week. So it will be Baku though, if it's going to be streamed. I don't know. But we'll see us back next week in Baku for round number 5. For round number 6 of the OSRL. Thank you guys for watching. What an amazing race it was. I hope you guys have a great race. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys have a great next week. And I hope to see you back soon enough. Bye. Bye.